So here's a good one where a wife, to no surprise out of the blue, told her husband she wanted to open up the marriage. And of course, it completely blew up in her face down the road when he found someone to replace her with. Titled, Am I the a-hole for finding someone else when my wife opened up our relationship? And a shout out to Ash for sending me this short story. It says, I, a 29-year-old male, and my wife, a 30-year-old female, have been together for 7 years and married for 4. Last year, she came up with the idea of an open relationship to try out new things. Try out new things. Maybe why don't you take a cooking class together? Or why don't you join a club or go on vacation to try new things, not try out other people? And 3 years into the marriage, she always wants to try out new things, huh? I said it's not something I'm comfortable with and would like to stay monogamous. It felt weird because it came out of nowhere. Well, it didn't come out of nowhere. She's been carefully planning how to approach you about this. We were doing good and planning to build a family together. After my reply, she insisted a lot. In the end, I decided to give it a try, and here are the boundaries she set. Smack! Give it a try. Bro, you're a monogamous guy. You married her because you want to be with her and her alone, not her and other chicks, or your wife with you and other dudes. That's ridiculous. I bet you the odds are very high that she already had someone or multiple someones ready to go, or she was already getting plied by one of them. That's usually how these things work. Now listen to her rules. Number 1, you should always prioritize the spouse instead of any other partner. She's the one that is insisting on an open marriage. That doesn't sound like you're prioritizing your spouse over somebody else. So what the fuck? 2, always use protection. Duh. 3, do not bring the partner to the shared house. And 4, do not form overly emotional connections. She says this to the guy who she knows wants to have a monogamous relationship. Because for the women, it's about the attention and validation. I think it's more about the attention and validation, the butterflies of a new guy, the excitement, gossiping with the girlfriends, than the actual process of getting Chad and Tyrone's hot dog. I told her I'm not sure I can do some of these things. I'm an emotional person, though I love the physical part too. She said, it's okay, I'll be able to do it, and it's hard for men to form emotional relationships in such cases anyways. No, it's usually the guys that do form emotional relationships because they want emotional relationships. She found a partner quickly and easily. There's an effing surprise. She didn't just find someone who's already lined up. Although it is easier for women to find guys that want to pork them. My wife was my first relationship partner, so I was not confident in myself. I did not have a great chances when I was in my 20s. Eventually, after clearing out most of my work, I decided to try finding a partner in my spare time. Surprisingly, I was flocked with interest from younger or around women my age. How about that? This guy has blossomed in his late 20s, and all of a sudden he's looking pretty darn good at these gals. This is why a guy's prime begins really in his 30s, when he is really coming to who he is, developed, his sense of self, purpose, bringing in resources, that type of thing. I knew maturing and aging did a great job for me, but not to this extent. I started talking to multiple women, but decided to go ahead with only one of them. When I shared this info with my wife, she seemed surprised, but congratulated me. Yeah, she's surprised because she figured with this guy's obvious low confidence and all that, and him being deeply in love with her, that he would have little success in this, or wouldn't try too hard. She said she is shocked how beautiful this woman is, and I was able to get her. Gee, thanks, wife. Yep, I'm porking a chick better looking than her. It has been 10 months since finding a partner, but the more I got to know her, and spent time with her, we formed an emotional connection together. Shame, that's against the rules your wife dictated. Fuck her. You're a one-woman type of guy. Good for you. You hear all the time how, from the movies and the songs, I'm sure Taylor Swift sang a few songs about guys not being one-woman type of guys and things like that, complaining about men. I hear this all the time. These guys just want the one woman. This woman is aware of my situation and respects my boundaries. I realize I lost emotional and physical connection with my wife over time. I know one of those boundaries were about emotional connections and prioritizing the spouse, but I told her I was not sure I could comply with some of these. Hello, this is not what you wanted. You don't want this at all, so the hell with her. I had a difficult talk with my wife last week about my situation. She immediately offered closing the relationship and going to couples counseling, but I'm not interested, to be honest. You're not interested because you fell out of love with her. You can no longer trust her. And you were betrayed by her wanting to F other guys. What the hell was the point of getting married? Aside from the fact that she probably wanted to enjoy being a bride and the ceremony and obviously the financial stability that being in a marriage is. She gets to have you and has somebody else to fool around with. Somebody else, multiple someones. It's not fair to you. And now she wants to fix things because she realizes that she's being replaced. She feels no different than a friend for me, and I'm afraid I built resentment for her due to the open relationship situation. I told her I would just extend the misery for me and I would like to have a divorce. She flipped out and cried, saying, I'm throwing everything away just for a fling. Am I the a-hole here? No, brother. You are taking care of you. She is the a-hole, a giant smelly a-hole, okay? She had you, the love and loyalty from you. Again, if your story is accurate here, what else could a girl want? Well, apparently a lot more. So, and she's the one that brought it up. She was the one who clearly had guys already. It's just she wasn't cheating already. And then this is the thanks you got? No, you don't owe her shit. So you are 29, you get your whole life ahead of you. Get divorced, take the hit, because of course you're going to take the hit, even though this was her idea. And what I would do is make sure you tell everybody what happened. Because don't let her paint the picture as you as the villain here, as you ruining the marriage or even cheating on her. I wouldn't be surprised she said that, you know. Don't let that happen. Make sure everybody knows, including her family. And that way they can't come back at you. And I would find a good lawyer, find out your options. If you got to take a hit for a little while because you're married to her, you're married 4 years, so depending on where you live, you're going to take a bit of a hit, especially depending on if you make a lot more money than her. But hopefully the alimony shouldn't be too long. Hopefully you don't have too many assets together and you can start anew. But just don't rush into this relationship with this woman here, even though you think she's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Take your time and really dig deep into find out why it is you went along with this in the first place. What you should have done is said, no, wife, we're done. I'm not going to be, this is not what I agreed to when I married you. I married you and only you, not so I could hook up with other women and you could hook up with other dudes. Figure out why you accepted that. Was it fear? Was it you were blindsided? These are important questions to ask. And then make sure you take your time. This doesn't happen again. Meanwhile, you're going to have a lot of options because your prime is beginning and your wife's prime is quickly coming to an end because she's now 30 years old. Now, a couple comments and I'll wrap this up. One guy says, you're monogamous. You can only become emotionally, romantically interested in one person at a time. By opening the relationship, she made it so that you could form this connection with someone else, therefore diminishing the connection with her, not the a-hole. Always an alarm going off here. All right, I'm back. Enough of this crazy noises. Another one. Not the a-hole. Opening the relationship, even with rules in place, is where the relationship was over, my opinion. She crapped the bed, and now she expects you to sleep in it. Crapped in the bed? Who is this? Amber Heard? Did Johnny Depp write this story? Is this Captain Jack writing this story here? I'm glad you were able to connect with someone else. You deserve better. She forged ahead, and after you voiced concerns, that choice was hers to make, and she made it. You're darn right. And one more. Guy says, for the millionth time, if you want to be non-monogamous, bang others as a couple, not as individuals. Every swinger-type couple I've met seem to actually have a pretty solid relationship. They love one another but bang people together. Most of them will keep it private or not make a big deal out of it. Every polygamous person I ever met has been miserable, constant jealousy, low self-esteem, game playing, etc., all the while telling me how much more evolved and progressive they are than me because they let their girl go F other people while they wait at home playing Zelda. I think he means polyamorous, not polygamous, but the point is, yeah, we're so progressive, we're so evolved. Oh yeah, then why are you so miserable? Although, playing Zelda sounds pretty cool, especially the old Zelda from 1986. That game fucking rocked. Anyhow, there you go. Good for this guy. I hope he does well.